prior to moving to Berlin, I was a guitarist in a rock band, and was playing mostly post-rock, noise, industrial music. I was drummer sometimes, not really good, but sort of like rock drummer. And then at the end, around 2000, I wanted to sort of get rid of the drummer and so on at some point in our band, so I bought a sampler. That was my first piece of equipment actually, an Akai S2000. Sort of rack, really difficult to use because you always had to turn the wheel and go through millions of pages, like really difficult. I don't know why I chose this, because it was not the easiest piece of equipment to start with. But yeah, that's how I started to, work with electronic music instruments. When I moved to Berlin, I started. I didn't move for music at all. I moved there in 2001 to finish my architecture studies, and so I started to work as an architect there right after my studies for a couple of years, and then I met Carsten Nicolai, Arredondo, and we didn't talk about music first. We were working. I was working for him and in collaboration with him for his installation works, mostly sculptures, three-dimensional works, spaces, and I became a sort of assistant collaborators in his studio for everything which was more architectural. And but we didn't talk about music first. It was more about art and space and sound in an art context. And then later on, a couple of years, I think, took until he just listened to my music and just sent it to Olaf Bender, which is the Raster label boss, known as Bytone as well. And then they say, yeah, great. Let's do it. Well, I think in a way the most difficult part was maybe not learning the machine, but taking the decision to do it full time. Even before I could earn any money with the music. So that was something, because I remember I was working in an architecture office, and I felt like, you know what, I want to do this for real, so I have to dedicate myself. So I just quit, and that's it, and I entered my room. I had my sampler and my mixer, shitty Behringer mixer, shitty, sort of like guitar effects, and I just started to work on my what would be after known as my first album. But that was, I mean, at the beginning it was really obviously not really good, but it took me a while. So it's probably like two or 3 years until I ended up with something which was worth releasing on Arredondo. Well, I usually see albums as a sort of one concept thing. So I don't produce track one after the other and think like, oh, okay, I have 10. I can release them or something. It's not. It would be too much of a sort of a factory production kind of style. So I'm always thinking in terms of one project, like what do I want to do, and until I have the idea, I don't start really to collect things. I just produce sounds out of the, whatever, with no intention of making tracks, and then when I have an idea of a clear concept where I want to go, then it starts to, you know, make sense, and tracks connect with each other, and I see like I make sort of links between them, you know, something which might be more ambient, something more for the dance floor, and then oh yeah, okay, this takes this shape, and this becomes an album, and yeah, so it's like that. I really need a sort of conceptual sort of input and a clear view on where I'm going before I'm doing anything. Yeah. Obviously, for electronic music producer, playing in Detroit is something, you know, it means something, and it's so I was really happy to come here, and like playing in the States is it's always something for a European producer. I mean, especially also because in terms of like just getting a visa for is not an easy task. So it's like you start the process of, you know, projecting into playing there way before you're here, because you need to you know, invest in getting this visa, and then when I was there, I was pretty surprised by the size. I didn't expect it to be that big, and I mean, the audience was great. The reaction was yeah, amazing. So I was yeah, it was good. It was a good time there. It's difficult to pick one of the Detroit, one of them, you know, like, I mean, I always see them as a sort of one entity or something. I guess probably one of the one who I more connect to is Jeff Mills, but for, you know, more musical reasons and conceptual reasons, but I still see this as in a collective way, because I don't think this could have happened only with one guy. So it just made sense in a collective way. That's why it's good to keep them together in the history of electronic music and not pick one. Yeah, yeah, I mean, confidence comes also from a very good preparation. So there are producers who believe in things like unprepared and who are so confident with themselves that they can just come with something half finished and just make something great out of it. I'm not one of them. I'm more of a control freak, and you know. So I woke up yesterday at 8. Went because the only way to do sound check was at 9 a.m. and I stayed 3 hours there, and I was the only one on that stage doing a sound check. You know, I mean the sound guys found it great, but I was, you know. So I have also a very sort of complex hardware setup with, you know, Octatrack, Tempest, and modular, and so a lot of things can go wrong. So that's why I need this sort of like serious preparation to feel confident on stage afterwards. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Like living in Berlin can be sometimes a bit dangerous. I've managed to stay a bit away. Sometimes it's a challenge to, you know, like not go to Berghain on every Saturday or something, or Sunday. It feels a bit like a friend's house at some point, because you know everyone. Usually I don't see that much difference between the countries, especially in Europe, where everything tends to be more like sort of homogeneous. I don't see that much difference between, you know, the audience in Netherlands and Spain at the end. It's more about the context, where I play, what's the club like, what's the sound like. That makes, you know, and the kind of people who are there, like not so much about the nationality. You have to go a bit more like more far away to find like real differences. Like I would say definitely Japan is one of my favorite places. I've been lucky enough to play there quite a lot, like 7-8 times, doing Rasternoten tours, or playing at Labyrinth Festival. That's probably one of the highlights of the last years, for sure. It's probably very difficult right now to start electronic music. There's so much things going on everywhere, like great things, bad things. I don't know how you try to sort out. I think one of the biggest danger is to be too clever and find, you know, manage to. Because with internet and all the information channels, you can have access to everything. So you probably get overloaded very fast with informations, and it's probably hard to find your way around it. So probably maybe the best advice would be to stay naive and just, you know, be sort of you know, not too well informed about what's going on in I don't know, the latest trend in South Africa or something, and then you know, if you give it to a sort of like limited knowledge, you probably go a bit more far. It's, yeah, if you stay naive, that's it.